Hey everybody, JC the Sniper, coming to you with another knife review, and today I've got the Benchmade SOCP Dagger for review. This is a pretty cool little dagger. Has some nifty things going on, so we'll just go ahead and talk about it. It's basically a backup defensive tool. Mostly, this for me is gonna ride my web gear. It's going to be something that I'm going to lash on there. I took it off just to show you guys for the review, but have it lashed on my web gear, like kind of in the center line near one of the mag pouches, because for me the idea is if, like, suppose someone were to tackle you in your web gear or some crap like that, you're on the ground, if you can get your hand to this and get your finger in it and pull it out, then you've got your little, you've got your backup defensive tool. So I put it in the center line of my body where it should theoretically be easy to get to, and it's just right where my hand can get to it real fast, and if you can just get your finger in that ring, then you're good to go. So it's kind of cool for that, but that's basically going to be the purpose I've got for it, is just as a backup defensive tool. Theoretically, as a civilian, you could probably use this. You could do it like inside the waistband, which would be kind of cool, because you could just tuck that, inside, hook that on your waistband, and just carry it like that, and then just, grab it by the ring and pull it out. So it could be useful for that. But the main purpose I see for it is for military police, just as a backup tool. So the blade itself is pretty nifty. It's just like it's a little ring dagger. So it's kind of cool. You got that ring to grab. Got the grooves for your fingers. Got a little top rest for your thumb. So I think optimally it's held in the reverse grip. At least for me, that seems to work best. You can hold it in a forward grip with your pinky through, or even put one of your other fingers through, but for me, I think it works better in reverse. You could make it work like this, just seems to be more optimal to hold it like this in a reverse grip. But whatever you want. It says Greg Thompson on it, stamped. It's got the SOCP stamp there, Benchmade on the back, patent pending. I don't know about all that, but whatever. So it's pretty cool. Now, it's got some interesting features to it. Number one, it's like a 1/4 inch thick. It's got like a 1/4 inch thick blade stock there, you can see. So it's pretty crazy thick. However, it's still really light because there's not much to it. It doesn't have any handle scales or anything. It's just the ring and the grooves, and then the blade. The blade is like 3 inches, right at 3 inches long, I believe, maybe just under 3. And it's kind of interesting because it's only half sharpened. It's not sharp along the entire edge. I mean, these come to a reasonable edge, but they're not sharp to where you're going to cut paper. That I can drag my finger on that; it's not going to cut me. This part will cut me. That won't. But it's still got that nice thing there. And the way the blade is shaped, the blade itself is still really thick as well. You can see there it's got a pretty thick blade stock all the way out to the tip, and it tapers down right here towards the tip. The tip is freaking razor sharp. You can see there that tip is very sharp. So anyway, with it only being half sharpened, clearly this is not a blade designed for slashing. You're not going to come in here, I mean, you theoretically could slash with the very tip of that, but that's not what it's designed for. It's designed for short stabbing strokes, just jamming it in somebody. And that is basically what I think is its optimal usage. It's designed for that, and it's perfect for that because it's strong, it's sturdy, it's sharp, it's got that nice wedge shape, it's going to penetrate well, you can grip it well, you're not going to lose your grip on it, and it's just, you're not going to slide down it stabbing. So that's what my intended use for it is. And like I say, I use these little holes on the sheath to lash it to my web gear right in the center line, where I can just grab it, get my finger in it, pull it out, and just stab. So that's going to be basically the use for this, is just as a backup defensive stabbing blade. Not much else. But for that, it's pretty cool. Like I was saying, it's very light, and that's definitely a consideration if you're in the military and you're carrying around your web gear. It's already heavy. You've got other things. You've got a rifle, you've got ammo, you've got magazines. You maybe have a sidearm. You probably have another combat blade that's going to be an actual, a full-size fighting blade. At least I'm going to have one. I don't know I know not everybody does that, but most guys are going to have another blade. And I don't think, for the most part, you're going to want to dump your other blade for this one. It's just not that big. I wouldn't want this as my primary fighting blade. Even though obviously fighting with blades is not something that happens all that much, but I still wouldn't want this for my primary blade, even for just the fact that if I need to do any kind of utility stuff, this is not going to be a very good utility knife. In fact, it would suck as a utility knife. So for that purpose, probably not going to be the only blade you've got. So for a secondary blade, weight is definitely a consideration. You don't want it to be too heavy, take up a lot of weight, and just add a lot of crap to your web gear. So for that, it's great. And the sheath here is pretty cool because it comes all the way up to the ring. So you can just get your finger through the ring and pop it out. You don't have to worry about it, and it locks in there pretty nice and tight, so it's going to stay in. You do have a little clip on there. I see that more for use for like civilian purposes, maybe police if you want to stick it inside the waistband and have it clipped on. For my purposes, it's going to be lashed using these holes to my web gear with some paracord. So for me, the clip, or the clip's not a big deal, not really important. I've actually considered taking it off of there. I may still do that in the future. It does have screws, so you can take it off. But haven't done that yet. Obviously, this one sheath is a nice sand color. It does come in other colors. I think black and maybe green. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure it comes in black at least. But this is a nice color because generally when I can, I pick my accessories in this type of color because number one, we're primarily fighting in the Middle East right now, so you don't want things that are going to be green and stuff like that because it's going to stick out. And additionally, because even if we weren't fighting in the Middle East, say we're fighting somewhere more woods, jungle, greenery type stuff around, brown is going to blend in anywhere. So I can put this on with my woodland camis, it's still going to blend in, whereas if it were green and I put it on with my deserts, it's not really going to blend. So I think this is a better color for that reason, just because it's going to go with both uniforms. It's going to blend into just about any environment, whereas green is not necessarily going to do that. And black is crap for for blending. Black is not something that you want on your gear. Just not going to blend at all. So stay away from the black. Go with something that's tan or brown in color. Anyway, I guess that's pretty close to it. Going to be a nice, just a basically backup stabbing knife, and just going to be that, get the guy off me kind of blade. So, it's light. It's not too expensive, even from Benchmade. These blades aren't too pricey. Come in at a pretty good price point. So you can pick one of these up, throw it on there, just have an extra backup blade. Or if you're a civilian or a police officer, just use it clipped inside your waistband. Just a nice little backup, just to have a fixed blade capability, have that solid backup. You don't have to worry about it. Get your finger in there. You don't have to worry about losing it. All that good stuff. So that's about all I have to say about this one. JC the Sniper, signing off.